Hello, gents. Most people think danger looks loud. Aggression, threats, dominance. But real power moves in silence. It doesn't seek attention, doesn't ask for permission, and doesn't waste energy proving itself. That's where the Sigma male stands apart. He isn't dangerous because he's reckless or violent. He's dangerous because he's calculated, independent, and impossible to control. If you're the kind of man who doesn't follow the crowd, doesn't crave validation, and doesn't play by society's rules, you're not broken, you're built differently. You're not weak for walking alone. In fact, your ability to stand apart, think for yourself, and move in silence makes you far more powerful than most people realize. But with that power comes responsibility. A Sigma male doesn't waste time on petty fights, emotional drama, or meaningless distractions. He builds, observes, and moves with purpose. People underestimate him until they realize he's always 10 steps ahead. This isn't about ego. This is about understanding your nature and using it wisely. If you recognize these signs in yourself, don't doubt them, own them, master them, and most importantly, never let the world tame you. Let's get started, gents. Number 1. He knows when to play the fool to fool the fool. Most people make the mistake of thinking intelligence needs to be displayed. They assume the loudest voice in the room is the smartest, that the one who corrects others or flexes knowledge is the one in control. But the Sigma male? He knows better. He understands that real power comes from knowing when to speak and when to let people underestimate him. He has no problem letting others think he's slow, uninterested, or even clueless. He'll let the arrogant talk over him, let the manipulative think they're pulling the strings, let the competition assume they have the upper hand. Why? Because the easiest way to expose a fool is to let him talk. While others are busy trying to prove themselves, the Sigma male is gathering information. He's watching the way they move, studying their patterns, listening to what they reveal without realizing it. Every word they say, every little flex of superiority, every assumption they make about him, it's all fuel. And when the time is right, he flips the entire situation on its head. By the time his opponents realize their mistake, it's too late. They've given him everything he needs to dismantle them. And the worst part, they did it to themselves. He never had to argue, never had to correct them, never had to prove a thing. Because a Sigma male doesn't need to convince you he's smart. He just waits for the moment you prove you're not. Number 2, he doesn't signal his intentions, he executes. Most people can't help but telegraph their moves. They talk too much, drop hints, or let their emotions betray their next step. Even when they try to be discreet, their body language, tone, or impatience gives them away. That's why they're easy to read, easy to predict, and easy to stop. But a Sigma male? He moves in silence. He doesn't waste energy announcing his plans, seeking approval, or proving himself. He doesn't hint at his next move, doesn't flinch when challenged, and doesn't tip his hand. He simply acts. And when he does, it's with surgical precision, clean, efficient, and devastatingly effective. By the time people realize what's happening, it's already too late. That's what makes him dangerous. His unpredictability isn't reckless, it's controlled. He isn't impulsive or emotional, he's strategic, patient, and calculating. While others are trying to read him, he's already 10 steps ahead, knowing exactly when and how to strike. And the best part, he never brags about it. There's no need. His results speak for themselves. Whether it's shutting down an opponent, flipping a situation in his favor, or making an unshakable decision, he does it with zero hesitation. No explanations, no second-guessing, no wasted motion. People who try to challenge him, manipulate him, or outmaneuver him always make the same mistake. They assume he's playing the same game as everyone else. But a Sigma male? He doesn't play games, he ends them. Thank you for being part of Gents Grove community. You are valued. At number 3, he masters the art of psychological warfare. Most people fight with fists, words, or emotions. They argue, lash out, or try to overpower others with brute force. But the Sigma male? He doesn't fight on the surface. He fights in the mind. He knows that true dominance isn't about who yells the loudest or throws the hardest punch. It's about who controls the narrative, who manipulates perception, and who bends reality without ever making a scene. If he wants to dismantle someone, he doesn't attack directly. That would be too obvious, too inefficient. Instead, he plants seeds of doubt, warps expectations and lets people destroy themselves. He'll twist a single word in a conversation and watch as his target spirals. He'll introduce an idea so subtly that they'll believe it was their own. He doesn't just play mind games, he builds entire mental chessboards where every move leads exactly where he wants it to. The terrifying part? Most people don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. By the time they do, their confidence is shattered, their ego is in pieces, and they can't even figure out where they lost control. And the Sigma? He's already moved on, silent, unbothered, untouchable. He doesn't waste time on unnecessary fights. He doesn't battle for dominance in the open. But if someone crosses a line, if someone underestimates him, he will end them mentally, without ever raising his voice, without ever letting them see it coming. Because a Sigma male doesn't just win conflicts, he makes sure his enemies never want to challenge him again. Number 4, he has no problem burning bridges if necessary. Most people cling to relationships out of habit, guilt, or fear of being alone. They tolerate disloyalty, disrespect, and dead weight just to avoid the discomfort of cutting ties. But the Sigma male, he doesn't play that game. To him, loyalty is a choice, not an obligation. If someone proves themselves untrustworthy, manipulative, or a liability, he won't waste time debating whether to keep them around. He'll simply walk away. No drama, no long explanations, no second chances, and when he does, it's final. The dangerous part? Most people don't see it coming. They assume he'll tolerate the same nonsense everyone else does. They mistake his patience for forgiveness, his silence for acceptance. But the moment they cross the line, they're done. No warnings, no emotional outbursts, just cold, decisive action. And unlike others who burn bridges in anger, the Sigma does it with precision. He doesn't just cut people off, he erases them. He removes access, eliminates dependency, and moves forward as if they never existed. There's no coming back because, in his mind, they're already gone. Some call it ruthless. He calls it necessary. He refuses to be weighed down by people who bring nothing but problems. And he's not afraid to walk alone because, unlike most, he thrives in solitude. So if a Sigma male ever cuts you off, understand one thing. You weren't discarded on impulse. You were studied, evaluated, and deemed unworthy of his energy. And once that decision is made, there's no undoing it. Number 5, he can outlast almost anyone in a mental battle. Some people crack under pressure. They get impatient, emotional, or desperate when things don't go their way. They react too soon, make reckless moves, or exhaust themselves trying to force an outcome. But the Sigma male, he thrives in the battle of endurance. His mind is built differently. While others panic and fold, he stays steady, calculating, and unshaken. He doesn't let frustration cloud his judgment, doesn't fall for emotional traps, and doesn't waste energy on battles that don't need to be fought. If someone tries to outsmart him, he'll outthink them. If they try to outmaneuver him, he'll outweight them. If they try to break him, he'll let them destroy themselves first. The secret to his strength? Patience. The Sigma male knows that most people aren't built to last. They want instant results, immediate gratification, and quick victories. They push too hard, too fast, and that's exactly when they make mistakes. So he waits. He observes. He watches them wear themselves out, second-guess their own strategies, and ultimately crumble under the weight of their own impatience. And when they do, that's when he strikes. His mental endurance isn't just about intelligence. It's about control. He controls his emotions, his impulses, and most importantly, the pace of the battle. Because in a war of minds, it's not about who moves first, it's about who moves last. And the Sigma male, he always moves last. Number 6, he's willing to do what others won't. Most people have limits, lines they refuse to cross, discomfort they won't endure, sacrifices they aren't willing to make. That's what keeps them average, but the Sigma male, he has no such restrictions. He understands one simple truth. Growth begins where comfort ends. Where others hesitate, he pushes forward. Where others give up, he digs deeper. He's the one who will stay up all night, mastering a skill. Work in silence while everyone else seeks validation, and keep moving long after others have quit. He's not afraid of struggle. He embraces it, because he knows that on the other side of discomfort is power. In business, he'll take risks no one else dares to. In relationships, he won't settle for shallow connections. It's all or nothing. In personal goals, he refuses to be outworked. He's not competing with others. He's competing with his own limits, breaking them over and over again. That's what makes him so dangerous. You can try to keep up, but eventually you'll tire. You can try to match his focus, but eventually you'll slip. Because while most people need comfort, he operates without it. And when the pressure gets unbearable, when everyone else taps out, the Sigma male is still there, calm, focused, and unstoppable. You don't compete with a Sigma male by working harder. You compete by being willing to go just as far. And most people, they aren't. Number 7. He becomes more powerful when pushed into a corner. The worst mistake anyone can make with a Sigma male is assuming he'll crumble under pressure. It's easy to believe that when he's pushed too far, when he's backed into a corner, he'll fold like everyone else. But the reality, he's at his most dangerous when he has nowhere to go. When most people feel trapped, they panic, they overreact, and they make mistakes. But the Sigma male doesn't waste energy on fear. He stays calm, laser-focused, and deadly precise. When the stakes are high, when his back's against the wall, he doesn't run or break down, he adapts. He studies his surroundings, calculates his options, and finds the most effective way to turn the situation to his advantage. That pressure, it only sharpens his instincts, hones his strategy, and makes him even more dangerous. He knows that this is the moment where most people fail, and that's exactly where he thrives. He doesn't fight out of desperation, he fights out of control. The more the world closes in on him, the more his mind accelerates, assessing every move, every angle, and every weakness in his opponent. His response is not reactionary, it's deadly efficiency. Anyone foolish enough to push him into that corner will soon realize they made a grave mistake. By the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. The Sigma male doesn't just survive when pushed to his limit, he wins, and he does it with a level of skill and precision that leaves others in awe. Number 8. He learns from every attack and never falls for the same trick twice. Most people have a tendency to make the same mistakes over and over. They get tricked, manipulated, or deceived, and though they may learn from it for a while, they eventually fall victim to the same tactics again. But the Sigma male? He's not like most people. If you think you can deceive or control him, you've got one shot and one shot only. The moment you try, he dissects your approach. He studies the way you think, the moves you make, and the methods you use. Every attempt to manipulate or take advantage of him is an opportunity for him to get stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the next round. Once you show your hand, he knows exactly how you operate. And when you try the same trick again, it won't work. He's already adjusted, adapted, and strengthened his defenses. The Sigma male doesn't just recover from attacks. He uses them to sharpen his instincts, refine his strategy, and become even more formidable. In fact, every time someone tries to mess with him, it's a lesson learned. Where others might crumble or become resentful, the Sigma male only grows more precise, more calculated, and more ruthless. He doesn't waste energy on emotions. He uses every attack against him as a chance to level up. So if you cross a Sigma male, be prepared. You'll never be able to catch him off guard again. Because once you've played your hand, you've already sealed your fate. Number 9. He moves in silence until it's too late. The Sigma male isn't interested in talking about his plans or making bold statements about what he's going to do. He doesn't waste time announcing his next move or making empty threats. Instead, he moves in silence, operating under the radar, gathering what he needs, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Most people make the mistake of thinking they have time to prepare, to react, to counter. But the Sigma male has already executed his move long before you even realize what's happening. By the time you catch on, it's already too late. This quiet, methodical approach is what makes him so dangerous. There's no warning, no build-up. He doesn't feel the need to make noise or draw attention. His power lies in his unpredictability, in the fact that he doesn't announce what's coming. His next step is already set in motion before anyone has a chance to respond. In a world full of people who love to talk, boast, and show off their plans, the Sigma male stands apart. He's always several steps ahead because he's not looking for validation or applause. He's focused on results. And when it comes to getting things done, there's no one more efficient or calculated. That silence, it's not weakness, it's strategy. And by the time you realize you've been outmaneuvered, you'll already be too far behind to catch up. Number 10. He lets others think they have the upper hand. The most dangerous people aren't the ones who flaunt their power or make loud, dramatic moves. It's the ones who quietly let you believe you're in control while they are secretly pulling the strings. That's the true power of a Sigma male. He knows exactly when to step back, observe the situation, and let egos inflate. Why? Because he doesn't need to prove anything. He's already playing a game that most people can't even see. The Sigma male understands that sometimes letting someone think they have the upper hand is the best move. It's a tactic of subtlety and psychological mastery, a perfect setup for the moment he strikes. While others are busy inflating their own importance, the Sigma male is gathering information, understanding their weaknesses, and waiting for the perfect opportunity. He doesn't rush. He's patient. And when the time is right, he makes his move. And suddenly, the so-called dominant person realizes they've been in the dark the entire time. This ability to make others feel in control while he stays in the shadows, quietly orchestrating the outcome, makes the Sigma male not just a threat, but a silent force to be reckoned with. By the time his move is executed, it's already too late for anyone to stop him. In the end, it's not about flexing power. It's about knowing when to remain still and let others dance on your terms. And when it's time to make your move, you do so with total control and absolute precision. Number 11. He has no need to be liked, so he will do what needs to be done. Most people hesitate when it comes to tough decisions because they fear losing approval. They worry about how others will perceive them, what they might lose, or who might turn against them. Not the Sigma male. He doesn't care about being liked. He doesn't crave validation. He doesn't need applause from anyone. If something needs to be done, no matter how difficult or ruthless it may seem, he will do it. No hesitation, no second guessing. The Sigma male has the rare ability to focus solely on the task at hand, knowing that sometimes hard choices are necessary to move forward or to protect what matters most. Unlike others, who would rather avoid conflict or take the easy route to preserve their image, the Sigma male has no attachment to the opinions of others. He doesn't operate based on what's socially acceptable or popular. Instead, he makes decisions rooted in practicality, logic, and results. Whether it's a business decision, a personal matter, or a situation where emotions run high, he doesn't allow himself to be swayed by fear of judgment. He knows that being liked is temporary, but getting things done is what truly matters, and that's what makes him truly dangerous. He's willing to face the consequences of his actions head-on, knowing that in the end, only results will matter. Others may cower in the face of tough choices, but the Sigma male, he will make them without a moment's doubt. Final thoughts. The power of the silent storm. Being a Sigma male isn't about chasing power, dominance, or recognition. It's about mastery of yourself, your mind, and the world around you. You don't waste energy proving yourself to anyone. You don't seek validation. And because of that, you move differently, calm, calculated, and impossible to predict. Your strength doesn't come from aggression or loud displays of power. It comes from restraint, discipline, and silence. While others broadcast their plans, you execute yours. While they react emotionally, you analyze. And while they fear isolation, you embrace it, sharpening your mind in solitude. What makes you truly dangerous isn't just your ability to outthink, outlast, or outmaneuver. It's the fact that you don't need to be seen to be effective. You strike when it's necessary, adapt when it's required, and disappear when the world becomes too loud. But understand this, your power isn't just in knowing how to move through the world unseen, it's in knowing when to step forward. The world underestimates those who walk alone, who don't follow trends, who refuse to be manipulated. That underestimation is your advantage. So keep moving in silence. Keep mastering yourself. Let the world think what it wants, because by the time they realize who you truly are, it will already be too late. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.